So everybody that has been in the marketing or general e-commerce space for more than a couple of years definitely knows that there are those people that believe that Facebook ROAS is an accurate and reliable metric, and there are those other people that think okay and have their certain doubts about the reliability and accuracy of Facebook and its attribution system. And this video is not to bash, neither to say one or the other party is right or wrong. However, latest since iOS 14.5 hit, Facebook ROAS is tanking, and in general, attribution from paid social advertising platforms are flawed, to say the least. At Victory Media, attributable Facebook ROAS was down by 30% in May 2021 when iOS 14.5 hit, while other performance indicators for accounts that maintained their advertising budget stayed the same. Those indicators were things like overall revenue metrics and obviously conversion rate. So what does this mean for us as advertisers and growth marketers, and how will this trend of missing attribution will proceed in a cookie-less future with more and more data governance laws? For those of you who don't know me, my name is Victor. I'm the founder of Victory Media, a Facebook marketing agency that exclusively works with e-commerce businesses to scale their business to the next level with the help of Facebook advertising. And trust me when I say that we've been struggling to figure out how to solve this mess that has happened after iOS 14.5 hit, and that made Facebook ROAS pretty much an unreliable metric. And I personally spent countless hours to figure out, not only for ourselves, but majorly for our clients' accounts, how we can solve this issue and maneuver through those uncharted waters. Up to May 2021, most people have taken, Facebook ROAS as their main indicator and performance KPI that, their ad account fall and stand by with. However, even before iOS 14.5 hit, Facebook ROAS was not the most accurate metric, and a lot of people had their doubts about the reliability of this metric. Generally speaking, there's no attribution metric that is 100% accurate. The reason for this is because it's really impossible to, assess a marketing specific or channel specific marketing effort and how this effort influenced or contributed to an ultimate sale that happened with your brand and company. This ultimately is the age-old attribution dilemma. When somebody stumbles upon your Facebook ad, clicks on your ad, hops on your website, and does not end up checking out with you in this session, however, clicks on your Google remarketing ad 3 days later, then should this sale be accredited to your Facebook or your Google ad? It's a difficult question, and ultimately it depends on each company's particular attribution framework, whether it's last click, linear, the first click, or dynamic, right? However, since iOS 14.5 hit, which limits the ability for apps like Facebook or TikTok to track website activity across the internet, there's a complete mayhem about the reliability and accuracy of those metrics. And unfortunately, this trend will not go away, rather than increase in the foreseeable future. Google announced this year that the first measures will be taken to go into a cookie-less future. And additionally to enterprise rules and data governance laws, there's also the overall natural trend in, to more data privacy in consumers' mind. Meaning people are more and more worried about who has access to their information and the potential misuse of their private and personal data. Therefore, channel-specific attribution metrics like Facebook ROAS or any other channel-specific performance report and metric will naturally decline over the next couple of years. iOS 14.5 was just a tipping point for us to establish a new way of reporting for our clients. We've previously already noticed a common behavior of not seeing the forest because of the many trees. Marketing managers, founders, and CEOs desperately trying to jiggle, their Facebook ROAS, Google spend, and, click costs from additional marketing platforms like TikTok or Snapchat were just getting out of hand. In doing so, they often got lost in the weeds and forgot the bigger picture: profitable customer acquisition and marketing efficiency. This is why we established a new North Star metric for all of our clients' accounts here at Victory Media: marketing efficiency ratio. However, what is marketing efficiency ratio, or short MER? MER is a term that majorly has been used with a financial background and, with, for example, yearly benchmarking. Usually the term was used by members of the C-suite and, from people like, for example, the chief financial officer in an organization. In the marketing or growth environment, the term is less popular, and even big brands do not really know what this term actually stands for. So let's get right into the weeds and talk about how MER is actually calculated. And fortunately, this is super easy. You just take your total revenue and divide it by your total ad spend. Yes, it's that easy. And when I mean total, I really mean total. Not only your total revenue, obviously, but also your total ad spend. This incurs all your marketing costs, from Facebook ads to Google ads to influencer marketing. This leaves you with a metric similar to ROAS that is, however, more focused on the bigger picture and the sustainable and profitable customer acquisition that is talking about your holistic marketing efforts. I know that you probably have hundreds of questions popping up in your mind right now, and that you might even be thinking that this guy is a complete lunatic for not wanting to know channel-specific performance data. And before we go any further into this video, let me make one thing clear. I don't want you to just completely disregard Facebook ROAS or other Facebook or attribution metrics in general and just don't give a damn about them anymore. This is not what I mean. I still think that those metrics are hugely important, but here at Victory Media, we use those metrics now as directional metrics. But let's come back to MER for a second, and for you to better understand this metric, let's take a look at an example. So just to be clear, this is a simplified example where we don't account for metrics like seasonality or new product launches or anything. In this example, literally everything apart from budget stays the same, which is, in the real world, never really going to happen. But it showcases the value of MER and how it solves our attribution problem and leads to a more growth-driven mindset. With that being said, let's take a look at Brand A with a ROAS-driven reporting and budgeting model. In April, they spent $10,000 per month on Facebook and $5,000 per month on Google. The Facebook ROAS, which at that time was their North Star metric, is at a 2x, which is on target and acceptable for them. Those marketing expenses led to a total $40,000 in revenue per month with a gross profit of $4,000 per month, which then is a 10% gross margin for April. Not necessarily bad. Brand A is happy with those results. In May, they therefore have the same marketing expenses of $10,000 per month for Facebook and $5,000 for Google. However, their Facebook ROAS declined from a 2 to a 1.6. However, the total revenue increased by $2,000 from $40,000 in April to $42,000 in May. Because all their operating expenses stayed the same, they were actually able to increase their gross profit to $4,200 as well, a 5% increase in profit. Therefore, they accept the hit in ROAS and don't go into panic mode. But when June came around, they made sure to decrease the budget for Facebook, hence a drop of performance from $10,000 per month to $7,000 per month. Google expenses stayed the same. This reduction in Facebook spend actually led to an increase in Facebook ROAS from 1.6 to a 1.8. The founders think they have made the right decision. Meanwhile, the ROAS increased in June, the total revenue decreased to $35,000 per month, and the gross profit slipped from $4,200 in May to $3,000 total profit in June. This is not only a decrease in total gross profit, but also in gross profit margin from 10% to 8.5%. This is the scenario for the 3-month with a ROAS-driven reporting model for Brand A. Before we now go any further, let's take a look at those same months, but with MER as the North Star metric. In April, all metrics are the same. They spend the same amount of money on Facebook and Google and have gotten the same results. So in total, the MER, meaning total revenue divided by total ad spend, is 2.66. In May then, the same thing happens. ROAS decreases to 1.6, but total revenues and profits increase. So does the MER then from 2.66 to 2.8. Due to the increase in total marketing efficiency and gross profit, they decide to increase the Facebook budget slightly from $10,000 to $11,000 instead of decreasing it to $7,000. In June, therefore, revenues increased from $42,000 to $45,000, an increase of 9% in month-over-month revenue. At the same time, ROAS increases from 1.6 to 1.75. Note that although there's an increase in ROAS, this increase is not as high as for scenario A. As for the MER, it stayed the same with a 2.8x. So what can we see from comparing those two scenarios? In scenario A, the ROAS-driven mindset, we did not only experience a decrease in total revenue, but more importantly, a decrease in margin and total gross profit. In scenario B, the MER-driven reporting model, we ended up not only with an increased marketing budget, which naturally then also translated in normally an increased total revenue, but more importantly, we ended up with an increased margin and total gross profit. So what can we learn from this observation? MER is a direct reflection of your bottom line profit and how well your brand does at converting that extra marketing traffic. So if your goal is to have the most profitable operation at the highest scale possible, then MER should be your North Star metric. Don't be fooled by either natural decreases in fluctuation in ROAS or hiccups in attribution. As long as your MER looks good, you can continue to scale. However, what is a good MER? MER is best measured for brands that have been around for a little while, and therefore MER is, best implemented on a year-on-year comparison basis. MER, similar to ROAS, is a highly individual metric. 3x MER can be, astronomically good for one brand and be terrible for another. This depends on general brand awareness, natural demand increases, or also the margin structure. So what you should do ideally is to look back at the last year and take a look at the MER and how it fluctuates from month to month. And if possible, even take a look at the last couple of years and analyze their data. Additionally to that, you should establish an average MER per month for your brand and company. This gives you a personalized MER metric, which you can then compare your monthly marketing performance with. This should give you a pretty good idea of, what MER you should be aiming for and whether your marketing efforts are worth it right now or not. In conclusion, I again want to emphasize that metrics like Facebook ROAS or channel-specific attribution performance data should not be disregarded. They should still be used, and we here at Victory Media still take a look at them on a daily basis. However, they ideally serve only as directional metrics. Additionally to that, and the truth is the trend, the example that we used right now in this video should not white label, tanking Facebook ROAS performance as, hey, just throw more money at it. It actually means the opposite. If, for example, however, the ROAS would have tanked by 50 or 60%, this would have definitely not been the best solution, However, in this example, we only had a decrease of about 20%, which is in the realm of, natural fluctuations and hiccups in attribution. An MER-driven mindset is not only the obsession with, bottom line profit, but also to put certain fluctuations and hiccups in attribution into perspective. So keeping track of your Facebook ROAS and other channel-specific performance data is crucial. However, MER should be your North Star metric that you measure your marketing performance against. Now, before we wrap it up, if you are interested in becoming a more MER-driven organization, and if you want to implement a Facebook ad strategy that prioritizes bottom line profit, then make sure to head down to the first link in the description to schedule into a free 30-minute consultation call with me personally. At my agency, Victory Media, we exclusively work with e-commerce companies to launch, optimize, and scale their Facebook ads to increase their overall MER. Additionally to that free call, as a bonus, and thank you for watching this video, if you schedule into this call right now and mention that you came from this video, then my team and I will actually put together a free MER report for you and your business, so you can start becoming a more profitable and growth-minded business today. So just click the link down in the description. I'll be looking forward to talking to you soon. Either way, I hope you got some value out of this content, out of this video. If you have, then I would appreciate a thumbs up and a comment below. This does not only make my day, but also gives me more feedback and motivation to put more content like this out for you guys that are more interested in profitable e-commerce growth. With that being said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep growing. Thank you so much for watching the video to this point. I know that if you've come this far, that you form a part of an exclusive group of people that do not only talk, but walk the talk, and that you are hungry for more content. So therefore, I went ahead and picked out an exclusive video just for you that I know you're going to love. Check it out right here.